Welcome to Venusian Soul Tarot. Today I'm back with a timeless pick a card reading, and it's going to be message from source. So I want you to cast your gaze over the cards and ask your higher self which cards have a message for you. We have pile number 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. If you need to pause the video to meditate further, please do so. But for those of you who are ready, let's get started. Hi group 1. So I keep hearing for this group, with the thread here, I'm hearing don't be afraid to follow that thread. Don't be afraid to follow your passions, your calling. Because I feel very strongly for this group, you're coming into a time, if you haven't already, with this Ace of Wands, where there's some sort of project or idea, something linked to your calling, your purpose, your destiny, that spirit, I'm hearing for many of you, it's already activated. Like you already know what this is, but I feel like there could be certain things that need to be left behind to follow this path. With the 5 of Coins and 10 of Wands, for some of you, there could be fear around finances, stability, lack. There could be limiting beliefs or thought processes that don't really correlate or connect with what you're being called to or asked to do. I just feel like there could be this sense of hesitation or ambivalence. And with the 5 of Coins and the 10 of Wands, again, you may be really required to make some changes in your life that could be disconcerting, at least at the beginning. Because with the 10 of Wands and 2 of Swords, it makes me feel when I choose this path with the Ace of Wands, when I follow my passion, I have to let go of someone or something else in order to do so. And we do start your reading here with the 8 of Cups. So there's this really strong theme of letting go of what you don't want or what you've outgrown, what doesn't serve you, so that you can follow your truth and your passion. Perhaps letting go of one path that, isn't authentic to you and your nature, so that you can receive and have, or I want to say so you can live the journey that's authentic to you. And with the Emperor, Page of Wands and the Emperor, I feel like this Emperor has to go out on their own to follow this spark. Whether that means, now when I say go it alone, it could be, again, that you are letting go of someone or something that's keeping you captive and you're ready for more. It could be as well like going it alone in the sense of your own venture, your own project, your own business. So there's a severing of a dependence on a workplace or a boss. Becoming your own boss, but it's definitely an energy of needing to be empowered when it comes to your own passions, your truth, and the life you're willing to lead. I just keep feeling, I feel for this group though, this isn't like, I wouldn't mind doing this. Like, it might be fun to paint. Like, it's not that type of energy. It's like, it's almost receiving like such a strong calling internally that you can't ignore it, that it changes everything. So I do feel for this group, there's a really strong, it's like Spirit's really trying to lead you and get through to you. And with allowing as well, we have radical acceptance, says yes to reality in any given moment. So what's needed can come next. And it's like Spirit is wanting you to say yes to your heart, to your passion. For some of you, this is coming in, I feel, because number one, it's time, I'm hearing. Like, it's not only time for your evolution, but for some of you, what you're bringing into the world, it's like the world is ready for it. There's something around divine timing or certain factors coming into place. But I also think you're ready. I think for this group, you've built up the fortitude, the courage, the passion, the strength that will see you through this journey. But with the 10 of Wands and the 2 of Swords, I do feel there's some difficult choices that may have to be made. And what's funny, the first oracle you have is clearing, sitting above the 8 of Cups. So we have, as true offering arises, it becomes easy to let go. You start to trust that more will always arrive. You shift from mind to God's, such freedom. But again, we get this theme of financial limitation or fear around finances, fear that if I follow my heart, if I do or travel the journey that I'm called to, I will come up short. It's like, I do think for many of you, Spirit is really asking you to clear out some limiting beliefs around how you can attract finances. For others of you, you may have been you may have had one stream of income that you're very kind of dependent on or comfortable with, and now you're being asked to switch to a different stream of income or a different means of gaining an income, whether this is a creative income through self-employment. It might seem less stable. There could be some fears here. Yeah, with Four of Swords as well. Like right now, I think you may be, it's like I feel like the spark is there. I know it's a thread as well, but the thread is like the journey, like Spirit's guiding you step by step, but they're showing me a flame. Like there's something that's lit up inside of you that Spirit's like, go for it. Keep, move ahead. Don't allow fear to hold you back. But there will be this period of time with the Four of Swords and change where you're contemplating, but you're preparing. You're not yet ready to walk it, but you're starting to walk it. And that's where I feel like you're at. We have change. Yeah, don't scare yourself with the next 40 steps. All you need is that one next action. You can say to love, just show me the first step and change me into one who can take it. But that's what I was trying to say as well. It's like step by step. This path is so guided and divinely protected. But I feel for some of you, I do feel fear as I'm tapping into your energy. Yeah, and what did I say about divine timing above the Page of Wands? There's something around the timing of this. Yeah, but it's almost like something has to leave your life now to make room for what's coming. The divine brings things in the timing that we need. Nothing comes before we're prepared, nor leaves too early. May I always trust your perfect and holy timing, dear Lord. Yeah. I don't know. I feel there's a level of resistance. I keep feeling fear. Some of it is fear around taking these steps. I think for some of you, it is definitely beyond your comfort zone, or again, there's something about this path that you're breaking away from convention, but it's like your own convention. For some of you, it could literally be taking the road less traveled, breaking with maybe a more conventional way of living, or especially a more conventional way of earning an income, a more conventional career. I feel that very strong. You also have passion. Yeah, it's like Spirit wants to bring, I feel like this shift is going to change everything, especially when it comes to your passion and your happiness. Where the frequency of passion reminds us that beneath every intense emotion lies a hidden gem of insight, balance, and calm. It assists us in finding the balance within this intensity, moving us from chaos to the calm of its core, where we can let its long-lasting wisdom fill us up. Yeah, it's like how do you stay... This is the flame I'm talking about. Like you have this burning passion, you have this desire or this intention, but how do you stay or remain in a space of peace and balance and contemplation even while this fire is burning? It's like it's balancing your energies. I think right now, again, Spirit's not making me feel like you need to force yourself or push right now. It's like it's going to happen gradually. It's going to happen step by step. But there is a need to be open and trust. With Cosmic Flower, it's like Spirit is saying you're ready to bloom, or something that you have a burning passion or desire for is ready to come to life. It's unfolding perfectly. But again, there's a distinction between what your mind conceives and what your mind is telling you versus what your heart knows. So we have here, with the frequency of Cosmic Flower, activates our remembrance of the place we call home, the core from which we pour our magnificence out into the world. You also have Earth. That's what I'm saying, like there's something you're bringing to the 3D, to Earth, to the physical. The frequency of Earth activates our deep connection to this physical plane by showing us the beauty of all the aspects of our Great Mother and revealing the more ethereal, spiritual aspects of our nature. I feel like you're coming into bloom as well, though. There's something blossoming within you, within your energy field, but also something you create from this space. But I feel like there's an energy of you really being seen for that. You also have here Weight of the World and sitting above Ace of Wands. So we have boundaries, let it go, it's not yours to carry. It's like Spirit is saying I'm not saying don't take any action, but there's a sense that the divine or Spirit is going to walk this path with you and through you. Like you're 1000% supported. Like they're saying, you can surrender, trust completely, and follow the steps we're guiding you to take. But I feel there's a little bit of resistance due to fear here. So there's a need to kind of surrender that fear, surrender that resistance so that you can follow. Yeah, and we have You're Not Alone. Again, such strong spiritual support. For those of you with the Two of Swords, where you're required, especially with the Ten of Wands above it, like where you're required to make some sort of choice or close one door so you can open a new door, or it could be like severing ties with someone or like, you know, colleagues, something along those lines. It's like you're going perhaps to have to lean on spirit and your own soul while you kind of make this transition or while you walk this path. We have isolation, physical connection, community. I'm also hearing with Earth above that, I do feel you're going to find your community, your tribe, your people through what you're creating. So that's all I have for you. I hope this reading resonates and I hope you have a beautiful day. Hi, group 2. When I started to lay your cards, I kept hearing this song Ocean by, I think it's Khalid. And you know, the lyrics is like, you could put an ocean between our love, it won't keep us apart. You could build a hole, I will burn it up, 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 just to get to your heart. It's making me feel, especially with the Two of Cups here and guidance and this star, I'm hearing star-crossed lovers. Now, the other message I just heard was your dreams are coming true. With the Two of Cups and the Sun, you're headed towards the Sun, especially with the Empress, and you can see her praying. And I'm hearing for some of you, a dream you made, you know, perhaps a long time ago. For some of you, I feel like this has been perhaps a long time coming or a difficult process to get here. It's coming true now. I feel very strongly like there's a big shift for this group. I keep seeing the number 3, so you may be seeing 333. We also have here Empress 3, 3 of coins. Yeah, it's like there's a level of fertility for this group as well. So there could be an emphasis on fertility, giving birth to something, creativity. It's like life is blooming around you, but I feel like you went through a difficult transition to get there. But I keep hearing it's like that ocean, that energy is carrying you. I feel for some of you, you've dealt with a lot of disappointments or setbacks or knocks. I do feel I am definitely, for some of you, really talking about a connection. And it doesn't have to be romantic, although I do feel for many of you it could be. But there's a sense of, you know, perhaps having, I just heard date some frogs, but I don't know if it's to that degree. Like it could have just been, you know, you had hopes and then they were dashed. But there's something about holding the faith and, you know, setting certain prayers and intentions and it coming in. And with guidance, we have when you make divine intelligence your foundation, you finally have a fixed star to follow. I feel like your sight or your focal point is now firmly directed on what will bring you genuine happiness, if that makes sense. It's like you've traversed like the rough waters. You've seen what's out there, you've explored, you've been on your voyage, and now you have clarity in terms of what this star is. I feel like now you're ready to kind of come into connection with it, to allow it. With the Page of Cups and the Nine of Wands, or especially Nine of Wands and Six of Swords as well, there's this sense of going through a phase where you may have been defensive or blocked, where it was hard to bring certain things in, or it was hard to trust life and what was showing up for you. Yeah, it's like with the Three of Coins, Two of Cups, the Sun, and especially finishing the spread. Again, you gave birth to this here through prayer, through healing, through spiritual practice. Now is your time to receive. For this group, I don't feel like there's tons of guidance. It's more, this is a message for this group of confirmation, of reassurance that what you've sought or the seeds you planted are coming in. So I don't feel an energy of, oh, spirit wants you to do such and such. I feel for a lot of you, you've already kind of, and again, if you feel guided to take action, by all means do so. But I feel like you've done a lot of this work prior and energetically it's coming in. I feel for some of you, I heard you had to forgive. There was some sort of breakthrough around forgiveness or letting go of someone from the past that has created this shift. You have Miracle. And you have 33. Yeah, 33 may be significant for some of you, but I keep seeing the number 3 in general for this group. Yeah, and like for those of you where this is applicable, it could be like, when I'm hearing fertility, for some of, like for a minority, it could be literally giving birth. For others of you, it's giving birth to new circumstances, new connection. It could be like new projects, new career, find new abundance. But there's a lot coming in because you have miracle and allowance. So right now, the message is really to allow the miracle to occur. To be in a space as well of, I keep hearing receptivity. I do feel like very strong feminine energy for this group and this spread. And again, when I think of the ocean, we get the water element, we get divine feminine. There's a sense of not trying to control the flow or the tides and allowing things to happen. So we have the frequency of miracles supports our belief in ourselves as a part of source, and therefore our belief that anything is possible. For some of you, what's coming in is something that you deemed impossible at one point, especially with it sitting above the 5 of Cups. For some of you, I really feel this is love. There was some sort of heartbreak or disappointment, and someone perhaps you had to let go of where it was really challenging, and reach a state of forgiveness. And from that energy now, this is coming in. Okay, so we have, I keep seeing the number 9 as well. We have 9 here. We have 9 of Wands. So 333, 999. When I think of the 9, I think of closing cycles, ending a chapter. But I'm hearing for this group, you've already closed a cycle. It's already ended. You're in, it's almost like I just heard a gestation period. It's almost like a waiting or a halt. And again, I'm not saying, oh, don't do anything, just sit and wait. Like that's not at all what I mean. But there's a sense of, again, I keep seeing you just being completely centered, at peace, receptive, just allowing. So we have the frequency of allowance invites us to be open to whatever comes our way without judgment, without opinion, without fear, and without resistance. When we allow, the universe becomes our partner in the wondrous dance of existence and expansion. You also have solar plexus sitting above the Page of Cups. And again, the number 3. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, like there could be like significance around, you know how what do they say? 1 becomes 2, but I'm hearing 1 becomes 3, whatever that means. So we have solar plexus chakra, the frequency of the solar plexus chakra, the yellow flower of life. For some of you, I just heard there may be 2 or 3 manifestations that come in at once as well that are significant. Anyway, the frequency of the solar plexus chakra, the yellow flower of life, supports our sense of self, our personal power, and our willpower, as well as our knowing of who we are and what our contribution is to the whole. I feel for this group, you became whole within yourself. And with this energy here, I'm drawn to our belief in ourselves as a part of source. It's almost like your conception of self expanded. But it expanded, I feel, for some of you through a lot of heartbreaks or disappointments. And it's like because of that, you had to turn within, and that's what's created this growth. Above the 9 of Wands, we have I'm sorry. Again, I'm hearing forgiveness. Defenselessness, riding past wrongs, uprooting. So with this card, I'm hearing what's manifesting, especially those of you who are resonating with the message of connection. What's manifesting is, or couldn't come in earlier, because with the 9 of Wands, it's like and it's funny, allowance is sitting above, because I feel for many of you now, you're in a place of allowance or a place of receptivity. But here, I feel like there could have been someone or something that had you somewhat guarded, or your defenses were elevated. You had to kind of perhaps readdress the past. And with uproot, some of you may have literally had to move away from someone or something, or start fresh, or I'm hearing like tear it to the ground and start again, build again. The other card you have is the Golden Children. Again, I'm getting a reference to children or a child. So we have inner child tenderness. And again, that doesn't have to represent a literal child, but I do feel for some of you that's, when I think of 1 becoming 3, that could be a potential as well. Again, take it if it applies. So inner child tenderness, innocence, rare gifts. For some of you as well, some of what's coming to life could be like creative gifts or projects with rare gifts, because I feel like this journey you've been on in terms of self may have allowed you or given way to certain epiphanies or ideas in terms of, you know, what really satisfies you, what your talents and gifts actually are, how to express yourself. For some of you, I get like you may literally be a water sign, but I do get really strong, I get strong Leo and strong water for this group. Yeah. And I feel like you may almost be a conduit for, you know, creative flow, for artistry, for source. We also have here energetic clearing above the Three of Pentacles. During crises, the Holy One herself may be emptying you of fear and attachments, preparing you to receive her luminous plan. Yeah, there's definitely something new, I feel, for some of you manifesting in terms of projects. And it's funny that we have Three of Pentacles. For some of you, the reference to three could be, you know, 3 streams of income, 3 ideas, 3 creative ideas. And it's funny, you literally have true love sitting above 2 of Cups. When I say star-crossed lovers, this, I don't mean in the sense of like a Romeo and Juliet, where it's star-crossed, but it's, you know, you have to scale the ocean to try and get there. It could be for some of you that they are at a distance, or, you know, there's something around the divine orchestrating this. But I'm feeling this is like a connection where it's like, when I say star-crossed, I mean fated, very much fated, meant to be, destined. There's a big emphasis on spirit bringing this. Remember I said before, I feel like this is coming in because you become whole within yourself. Your wholeness and safety lie within, not from a partner. That's exactly what I feel like you've discovered and built within yourself. But this sovereignty actually leads to the deepest intimacy for you to stop using others. Let me stand on my own feet, dear Lord, and know true love. You also have service with the sun. So there's an emphasis on, again, I think for some of you have 3 manifestations coming in. One could be, you know, a partner. It could be a soulmate. If you're not interested in romance, it could be like a soulmate, soul tribe. It could also be like something to do with career or life purpose, like someone who's destined to work with you or to support you in your mission, and you kind of build together, whether romantic or platonic. I feel like there could be blessings again around, it's not just career, it's more life purpose, creativity, and also abundance. For some of you, it could literally be meeting a partner and having a child, but that's the minority. So just take it if it applies. But there's a sense of, I'm hearing the floodgates are open. You're in such a beautiful, receptive energy. You're whole within yourself. You've done the healing work, and now you're ready. So that's all I have for you. I hope this reading resonates, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Hi, grade 3. So the message I'm hearing is that you are this beautiful gem, but you're beginning to realize it. You're beginning to perceive of all the different facets, the aspects of self. There's a level of clarity and love that self-love that you've developed within, that's, I feel like you're really shining for this group. Like there's a sense of, because you are so in your power, in your worth, in your, I'm also hearing like clearing away like limited beliefs or limiting consciousness, so that you can kind of not only shine bright, but maybe express some of these facets, maybe share more of your energy, especially with the Star and the 9 of Cups, like things that may have previously seemed impossible to you, or they weren't coming in, you weren't sure how to make them happen. It's like now they can happen. Now they can come in. Now you understand what to do and what that looks like. With liberation, we have the doubts and fears still come up. You don't believe anymore that they're you. There's some version of yourself or something you used to believe about yourself that you don't any longer, that you've let go of. And I feel like that's what's making all the difference. I feel for some of you, you may have had certain like I feel like some of these beliefs and limitations were actually pressed upon you by an external force. For some of you, I just said pressed upon you, but I just heard oppressed as I said that. So for some of you, there could have been some form of oppression, control, someone that was trying to prevent you from seeing this light, or people that just didn't see the gem that you were. This could be in the sense of connection, childhood. It could even be like, say, you know, like at school or in the workforce, like people just weren't, it's like they weren't able to recognize all this glory and beauty, but Spirit keeps saying it's because you couldn't see it. Yeah, and now you see it, everyone sees it. You also have, sitting above strength, karmic relationships, which makes me feel for some of you, you could have dealt with quite a difficult karmic or toxic connection that it was there with polarity. It was there to show you what you weren't so that you could gain clarity on who you were, if that makes sense. It's like sometimes we learn in opposites. If I say to God or Spirit or Source, I want to learn strength, sometimes it will give me an opportunity that really makes me feel weak so that I can develop my fortitude. There's something about mastering duality. I think the experience of duality or certain things that have entered on your path have led to a lot of soul growth and understanding, because you also have here the great severing. I just heard sitting above the 4 of coins. I think there was someone or something that you either felt like you couldn't live without, or perhaps maybe that's what they told you. Like there was a sense of this was something that was very difficult to let go of. So the person could have been difficult to let go of, or the pattern, the cycle. I feel for some of you, you've closed out a karmic cycle, a repetitive pattern that was diminishing you. Because with the great severing as well, I feel like for some of you, especially because we started with strength. So Spirit is drawing attention to how much strength you've developed. But there's a sense with Mars energy, anger, conflict, softening to love. I feel for some of you, you are very loving souls. You may be very kind and pure and giving, but there was a need to have perhaps a little more firmness, more boundaries where, you know, people weren't able to walk over that. People weren't able to manipulate that because there could have been some level of toxicity. And it's like with the 4 of Wands, I actually feel for this group, this 4 of Wands is built within you. It's like having a home or foundation within self. Yeah, but I think for some of you, you may have tried to build this with someone and that fell through. So you decided to go within, to choose yourself, to focus on you. You have belief and you have master number 11. You've mastered a certain pattern or cycle in connection. The frequency of belief supports our sense of self-worth based on our gifts and talents and a strong connection to Source. See, some of you, again, strong lessons of self-worth, how you perceive yourself, what you feel you're capable of doing. Because for some of you, I'm hearing these lessons or certain people you met, it's almost like they were to initiate you into a sense of self-love, self-worth, almost like an awareness of your gifts or your talents so that you could utilize them with this 9 of Cups, well, the Star and the 9 of Cups. Because in order to be willing to really fight for ourselves and to see our own beauty, to see our own worth, sometimes we have to endure this energy. And with the Wheel of Fortune, I keep hearing the cycle is over. You're not going to attract in more of these experiences, these connections. People that put you down, don't see your worth, try to manipulate you, it's done. Because with compassion, I do feel for some of you, maybe you've had to develop a little bit of this Mars energy, this fire, especially as it pertains to boundaries. Because I feel like this group, you are very loving, you're very pure, you're very kind, and that's beautiful. You've got a really strong, crown chakra and heart chakra. But I just feel in general, there could have been people that took advantage of that. The frequency of compassion supports our ability to stand by others without judgment and be the divine mediator between heaven and earth, spirit and matter, so that unconditional love can flow from Source through our heart and into the world. Yeah, it's almost like you keep the love, you keep that unconditional love and compassion, but you pour it into yourself. And what I'm seeing is that then overflows into the physical with the 9 of Cups. And because it's overflowing into the physical, it returns to you with the 6 of Coins, where the abundance starts to flow back. 2 of Wands, we have soul time. Don't be harsh with yourself when it comes to your timeline. Like, oh, I should be further ahead, or I should have done such and such earlier, or whatever the narrative is. Because I feel again, divine timing, but Spirit saying things have orchestrated perfectly for your journey and your path. We have the frequency of soul time asks us to allow the possibilities of a new reality to emerge, one that embraces the concept that while the corporeal body is mortal, the soul is timeless, limitless, and infinite. You've transcended into a new level, new vibration, and a new level of consciousness where, again, it's like, I feel for this group, limitation doesn't exist anymore. You're not going to be bound. Like in the past, if you kept, and I'm not saying, oh, you'll never have a challenge again. Life will be so easy for you. Like I'm not to that degree, but there is an easing of your path. Like where there were, I'm hearing where there were brick walls, now there's, now there are doors. Things are opening. Yeah, because you mastered the lesson. With the star and sacrifice, you learned to never sacrifice yourself. Always choose yourself. Never sacrifice yourself, your heart, your love, your dreams. And that's what I think you're coming into. And because you mastered that lesson, now it's time to really show this gem that you are. For some of you, it's like you are your product. And that could mean different things for different people. Perhaps your level of self-worth and self-love just has a profound impact on other people in your community, in relationship. For others of you, I feel like you may be using, whether it be speaking or sharing, or it's like you're the focal point. We have sacrifice. Sometimes surrender is painful. God's cutting away all that needs to go. Illusions, obsessions, addictions. It's a sacrifice to love. I feel for some of you, you had to let go, or with a great severing, it makes me think of letting go of something that was, very painful or very difficult to release, especially sitting above the Four of Pentacles. But I feel like for this group, you did it because you knew you had to. And it set you free. Challenges, unbearable situations throw you directly into God's arms if you are open. Please take over, divine, and guide the right actions. Please take this burden and show me your will. Yeah, I think you've had to overcome tremendous amount of challenges, but again, it was designed to lead you to God and yourself, which is God or source. So solitude. Once you embrace the inner divine and your own sacred solitude, the right people arrive at the right time, exactly on schedule, without forcing or chasing. See how there keeps being this emphasis on schedule, timing. It's like you're coming into a state of flow where Spirit's saying they want you to let go of any conditioning or limitations around timing. Everything's happening exactly as it needs to. You're right on time. For those of you who have been going it alone or have had trouble finding connection with that Six of Pentacles, that's reciprocated, where someone is also giving energy to you or willing to extend themselves. I feel like you're coming into a time where you receive connections that are really balanced. So that's all I have for you. I hope this reading resonates and I hope you have a beautiful day. Group 4. So when I first grabbed your card, the 1, the energy was really intense and I went to put it back and Spirit's like, no, that's the one. So with this group, I feel like there's something happening in terms of your healing and shifts you're making internally that may be very difficult or disconcerting. This is I just heard hardcore healing, intense healing. And you have Rhodochrosite, which I think resonates with healing past wounds, healing from childhood, and we have inner child here as well. So for this group, this is a really intense energy that you're working with. Now, I think it's going to have a beautiful outcome, but I think it's going to be quite arduous as you're going through it. So I think Spirit's coming in with encouragement, with guidance, with support, because right now it's again, I know she's being held in a flower, but I keep seeing it like a cocoon and you're going to emerge as a butterfly. And when I saw the 1, I thought, reconnecting with, unity, consciousness or source, but I really feel like it's reconnecting with you. You are the one. It's like your focus and your attention is going within. So we have, allow me to give compassion and love to that little one. Let me attend to its deepest needs and feelings. You're allowing yourself, with the Chariot, I'm seeing you being thrashed around in the ocean, but you're allowing yourself to feel what's coming through. You're going from the Queen of Swords to the Queen of Cups. In the past, you may have used the intellect, the mind, the mental realm, certain distractions to avoid the heart space. because I feel like there were wounds here that needed tending that may have been quite, again, for some of you, you may need some support in this process. So if you feel guided towards counseling or therapy or something that really helps you process these emotions and these energies, I highly recommend it. But again, with the Nine of Swords, Queen of Swords, it's like living in the mental realm or having an idea of self, but not connecting with self. I'm hearing as well like the outside looking in, whereas now it's like you're dropping into your center, you're dropping into your core, but it may be quite a difficult process or transition. And again, they're showing me you like flailing around in the ocean, the water, and I keep hearing like, just relax, like the storm is going to pass, you know, you're purging, you're processing. We have death, we have the Tower. I think with the Nine of Swords, the trick here is to not allow, everything is on track and you're on the right path, but it's probably not going to feel like it or look like it. So the trick is to not allow or give in to fear and allow the narrative of fear to, you know, lead you to a place of resistance or doubting yourself, doubting spirit, feeling as though you can't go through this. With the Chariot and Death, I'm hearing like keep walking. The shadows are coming up. It may be scary, challenging, painful, frightening, but it's like if you keep walking, you keep moving through it, you will reach a beautiful outcome. With the Tower, I'm hearing as well, Death and the Tower, whatever needs to fall away, let it. Don't hold on too tight. Don't try to figure this process out. You're not going to understand it intellectually. It has to be felt. You're coming back to your core. For some of you, I feel like there was some sort of disconnect around the heart space. With the Queen of Swords and the Ten of Coins, some of you could have been also really focused on career or financial pursuits. And you may have taken a step back or just given yourself time away from that with the Knight of Coins so that you can really focus on what you need emotionally, in terms of, you know, your career, your path. I just feel like, and I'm hearing as well, slow and steady. So the Chariot, you have the transition. When you come out of this, like your life is going to look completely different because you're a different being. It's like the very core of you is shifting. So the frequency of transition supports our deep understanding of the ever-changing nature of existence and our lives so that we can learn to let go, surrender to the process, and allow transition to occur with ease and grace. So with this card as well, that's what I keep hearing, stop fighting. Like, don't fight the ocean. You're not going to win. Like those emotions, those waves, it's like they're flooding over you so that they can cleanse you, so they can be washed clean. And again, if you need support in that process, Spirit is encouraging you to seek it. With coherence, there's an integration process happening with past emotion, past memories, truths. For this group, there may be a lot of realizations that come to the surface. The frequency of coherence supports our ability to harmonize the frequency of the heart with the frequency of the mind for an optimal ability to create the reality that we desire. It's like coming into alignment with who you truly are at a core or soul level, so that what is available to you in the physical reflects that. Now, sitting above the Tower, you have romantic love. So with this card as well, what may be falling apart could be a connection, and that's creating some challenges or shifts. The frequency of romantic love supports our journey to feel whole and complete through the experience with and reflection of a conscious lover. For others of you, it could just be that you've had a lot of challenges around connection. But with you got the love sitting above the Nine of Swords, again, we have Hadarian energy, codependency, boundaries. It's like, rather than placing love and focus on other, you're bringing it back to self. It's like Spirit is saying, and again, I'm not saying like, oh, don't care about anyone or their feelings or, you know, like only you matter in the world. Like that's not what I'm saying. But for you right now at this point on your journey, I feel like only you matter because Spirit keeps saying you're the one, like focus on you. Maybe you're learning lessons here as well around not overgiving and really taking care of self, especially emotionally and energetically in terms of your healing. Big picture thinking, Pleiades energy, visionary, inspired ideas. Yeah, with that Queen of Swords beneath it. You will have new inspirations coming to you at the outset of this healing process. But I feel like right now, like there's a need to be really gentle with yourself. You have courage sitting above the Queen of Cups. Spirit is also commending you for the amount of courage you have to go through this process, to follow where Spirit is guiding you, because I do feel for this group, it's quite challenging, like it's quite intense. That again, I keep being shown you thrashing through the ocean. There could be a lot, not only going on internally, but there could be a lot going on or falling away physically. So it's like it's a mental emotional transition, but it's also a physical one. You have Truth sitting above the 10 of coins. When everything is done as an offering, even the act of speaking, you get shown when to talk and when to be silent. Your words come from silence, not fear. You do the talking, dear Lord. Take me over and speak through me. I'm hearing you may be reassessing what speaks to you, especially in your career or financial sector. Part of these realizations could actually lead you to a new understanding of, you know, the value of money versus the value of emotional fulfillment, or, you know, the value of security versus the value of pursuing your dreams. Like there could be some deliberation around those areas. Sitting above the Knight of Coins, you have patience. If you've tried forever to shift a problem, there's probably something to learn from embracing it. May I let this be for now. Help me relax and trust. Every need will be met. Often change soon follows. So again, there's a message from Source not to resist what's happening. Don't fight the ocean. Yeah, it's like, if you feel like it's thrashing you around and dragging you under, again, if you need support, seek that and put your emotional needs and your healing first, your well-being first. And they're showing me like literally like an oxygen mask, you securing that first. You may have had a tendency to give to someone else, or give to your career, or give to other areas at the expense of self. But I feel here as well, again with patience, I think I said something before, with the Knight of Coins beneath it, essentially I'm hearing things may be slowing down, or things may temporarily come to a halt to give you the time and energy and focus to go within, to look at what you really need to address or heal or transform. So if things look like they've stopped, have faith and trust that things will move again, but they're going to be moving in the future in a way that is more aligned to who you truly are. So that's all I have for you. I hope this reading resonates, and I hope you have a beautiful day.